Welcome to The Advocate, a program that thrashes out all the topical issues of the day.
When you are in government, you don't see nothing wrong with whatever is happening. The moment you are out there, everything is wrong.
You can't even see many women now, and when they're there, they're not even really making a mark, and then they have an NYSC problem and this and that.
One of the reasons why we don't have more women in politics in Nigeria is for as long as political meetings continue to take place in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
It's disastrous for a president to be unaware of the chief
It's
justice.
a ploy. It could be a strategy.
That strategy was
Backfired.
terrible strategy. Because the buck stops at your table.
Whether it's that we don't look after our cities, and quite frankly, Nigeria is becoming a very ugly place.
When you are the only one feeding the people with this news and there is nobody countering them, it becomes, the news.
You're watching The Advocate on PlusTVAfrica. Time to confront a public matter. Over the weekend, we all heard the news that the federal government had closed their case against the suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria, Walter Onnoghen. We learned that contrary to the APC propaganda on social media that claimed the CJN owned 55 houses and $3 million in his account, in actuality, he owned 5 houses, one of which was given to him by the federal government of Nigeria, and also $200,000. On the basis of this propaganda, the CJN was urged by many people to resign, and when he didn't, the unprecedented step of suspending him was taken. Due process was completely abandoned in place of a kangaroo court, which had already found him guilty. This trial by public opinion has been a weapon used on many occasions by this government against its perceived enemies. We saw this applied against the Senate President Bukola Saraki, who was accused of false declaration of assets and was immediately pressured to resign and abdicate his responsibility while proving his innocence at the courts. In saner climes, prosecution authorities are careful about what they release in the public sphere, so as not to prejudice the investigation, but not so in current-day Nigeria. Today, reputations and careers are destroyed through propaganda, careers brought to an abrupt halt unless one has the liver, yes, I said that, the liver, to resist and a strong support system as demonstrated in both cases. But my main gripe is with the learned, intelligent folk who, just because they support one party over another, are quick to add their voices to the bullying, supporting their lack of evidence and abandonment of due process with moral-based arguments. The moral thing to do, blah, blah, blah. If we don't start standing up to this government and demanding due process to take place before forming our opinions, we're complicit in the destruction of lives. And next time, you may be at the receiving end.
Yes, I think Buhari has ruined this country with the way. Yes, with the way he.
So the country hasn't been getting ruined for the last 50 years.
It was, but I think he nailed the coffin because this whole thing of
so it wasn't
going to
Babangida
the
that
newspapers. No, Babangida did not even publicize everything in the newspaper. He was doing his own coded
yes,
and
quietly.
behind the scenes.
Yes, you prefer that, do you?
Well, I think I do.
You prefer corruption under the table.
No, not corruption. Yeah, we'll catch them because it's still corruption.
Really?
It will never be hidden.
Have you caught Babangida?
I can catch him. If you ask me, I'll catch him.
This is funny.
I'll catch him. Now, Buhari is a noisemaker who came in and said, everybody has been corrupt. I'm going to tell you all of them. And he started and he was, doing for 4 years. That's what he's been doing. And now when he won another election, what was the first thing he was saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to catch them.
Yes,
I mean, he hasn't caught anybody, by the way. Don't mind him. Anyway, while we're at it, there's no need for this this trial by
public opinion.
Trial by media.
It is media, that's what I wanted. There's no need for it. Where I said before that this is a jungle, and I know why I said so. It's only in a jungle that you just throw in things like that, and you think you will make progress with it, and everybody will condemn Onnoghen, and everybody will condemn whoever else. Do this thing behind the scenes, and let us hear that somebody has just been found guilty.
Let me just come in a bit, because I just think Nigeria is not unique in this
Absolutely
position.
not.
It's the Smollett case.
Which
Wasn't
is
that a trial by
Smollett,
me?
Justice Smollett, just now.
So it's still
Smollett-
booming,
don't-
and it was
I-
blown
I think
out
we
of
shouldn't-
proportion.
I think we shouldn't talk about the Smollett case.
Yes.
I think that a lot is being hidden. And
It
I
doesn't
think,
matter. It's about trial by media. It's a similar scenario.
No, but
It's exactly
let's
what
not
you
divert.
said.
Okay, let's not
I don't
divert.
want-
Okay,
I'm
let
not
me
interested
zoom in on my
It
key
was a
point. I'm
hoax,
just trying
by the way.
to
That doesn't
avoid all
matter.
this nailing Nigeria as one
Yes,
unique
as like it's
problem.
one
No,
unique
I'm focusing
My
on
focus.
this government.
No, but let me focus.
That's Nigeria.
According to Chuka, Buhari is also responsible for all the problems of the world. Keep going.
I don't know if you
No,
said
no,
that.
no,
But
no,
okay,
no.
let me come in.
Black
though.
people
Well, maybe
are-
50%.
Let me come in to
Black
agree
people
with
are-
Okay, let Ekene come in.
Let me
seeing
come in to
as
agree
this
with
is going
Uche.
as
Yes,
a-
let me come in to agree with Uche on the base on my whole focus on this topic for me is the abuse of due process, which I would like Liberals to give us the breakdown if he can, because I really feel that if we can deal with that area, then we shut the door on any future offenders. Because it's not enough to say, oh, that we didn't find anything against Onogen now. Why were you able to follow the process the way you did? So since that's the technicality we can catch them on, we penalize them and we don't let them off the hook so that next time people don't try that again. Because that's the only way you're going to send the message loud and clear and say, you know, you may think you can run roughshod over the system, but if you try this again, the penalty is going to be so heavy, you dare not.
Yeah.
That's really
But-
my own angle on it.
Yeah, but that will be down to our people. But go on.
Legal equal amongst us.
You see, it's very unfortunate. That's why over here, a lot of people are let off the hook. Because in criminal matters, you must prove beyond reasonable doubt. And that any doubt in the mind of the court is resolved in favor of the accused person. And so, but you find out that, like Chuka said, this government had done more of a trial
By media.
by
Public opinion.
by ordeal. And when I say not even public opinion, by ordeal, you know.
What does that mean?
I will explain to you. Oh, we found this man, we found $2 billion in his account. We found 55 houses. He's guilty. And so they go to town. You know, to them, they've taken you through the ordeal, you are guilty.
What does the law say?
But when you come to the position of the law now wants you to establish the fact and take the process through. Even if the person is guilty, even the process of obtaining evidence also, you know, there are procedures of obtaining evidence. And if you circumvent the process, the law also cannot close its eyes to it. And so at the end of the day, you find out that the criminal, you know, walks home freely because you scuttled the process. And then the next thing they do, they turn around. Oh, lawyers are the problem. Oh, this man that everybody knew that he stole. The lawyers just came and spoke English and the court let them off. The judge probably must have collected bribe. Forgetting that prosecution, investigation, it's what commences prosecution. If your investigation is wishy-washy, definitely your prosecution will end in a quagmire. And so, even in small criminal cases at the magistrate court, the police will tell you, yes, we have a confessional statement from him. And at the point of tendering the confessional statement, the lawyer says, well, it wasn't voluntarily made. And then there's trial within trial. And then the judge says, since it wasn't voluntarily made,
But what was the
not
You know what I would like to bring
so in
in
Onogen's
before we
case,
leave?
in
Before we lose
Onogen's
time.
case, even though the FCC had the Code of Conduct Tribunal had said, we didn't bring other accounts we discovered, but even the accounts that they have alleged that were not declared, the ones that had been declared, they had not even verified whether they existed
exactly. And
or
that's,
not.
that was the
so
part.
all of these are abdications of responsibility. Nobody's hearing that somebody is going to be punished for it. Even the same documents had not been verified. Charges had been proffered even before investigation were concluded.
So that's what we should be
But
nailing down.
let Rati come in quickly.
Well, no,
just before.
actually, the part that what you mentioned about the fact that they hadn't even verified his declaration of assets was actually one part I was going to bring in. The other part I do want to bring in, though, is that I want to remind all of us that this is not the first time it's happened. This actually happened with Salami. during GEJ's time. He did exactly the same thing. You can come in and correct me on the legal parameters of it. But what I'm saying to you is, trial by media, wrong as it is, and it must never be encouraged. Yes, it is a detriment to our judicial landscape. It doesn't work for anybody. But allow me to say, it is not only this government or this country that actually does it. It's actually something that a lot of countries and governments do when they're fighting political propaganda.
So we need to find a way to do it. So
now,
the reason I'm highlighting this,
and Buhari didn't teach the world how to do this. They were doing it before he came along.
So my own focus is how do we starve this kind of thing?
Yes, we, the people, have to say, we have to
educate our minds.
This,
so we have to refuse process, but legally they have to penalize them now.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what's funny? I asked Liberos before the show started. So now that we found out these things, what's going to happen?
And oh no, they still know the case isn't over. We must say that. Where's the camera? The case is not over, actually.
You see, because
it's not to be quick.
Yeah, because some of these issues are, you know, there are interests, there are vested interests underneath, and so you will see it first time.
Exactly.
Look at the case of Sambo Dasuki El Zazaki. Court grants bail today. They say, oh no, there's another charge somewhere. You know, so for me, there's a thin line between prosecution and persecution, and so it messes up the whole system. But quickly, you find out that when you do things this way, it allows a criminal to walk away freely. You know, because
everybody suffers.
All right. Wow. Okay, I have to round up now. That was bound to stir up things, but Chuka says there's a silver lining to all of this. I look forward to his showing us after the break.